Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we are checking out six knives altogether. 5 knives that are brand new. This is the NIP Slip from Divo Knives, sold at Traditional Pocket Knives website. I have a link down in the description for you guys if you guys are wanting to get yourself one. They have a few different color options, and I gotta say, man, the walk and talk on this, you know what? Let's hear that first. We gotta hear that first. Amazing walk and talk. This thing has a nice snappy back spring. I really like the sound. It almost sounds like two marbles hitting each other. But yeah, the pull's really nice. It is a little, you know, it's not really thick at all. It looks like it would be like a little stout thing, but it's actually very slim in the hand. You can get a full 4-finger grip. And one thing I love probably the most about it, full hollow grind from the spine to the edge. Hollow grind gets down very thin, and with a knife of this size, that's awesome because it means that one, it's going to slice really well, and with a knife this size, you know, if it's thick, you don't get a ton of leverage into your cut. So this is going to be great for utility cuts and opening things up. So, which is, you know, probably what people would primarily use a knife this size for, especially a slip joint. Now, some people do like to be a little bit more tougher on their edges. So in that case, you might want something with a little bit thicker geometry, but I think this is going to work very well for most people. S90V blade, the logos and everything are on the inside right here. It says Divo Knives and S90V. So it comes with a great super steel, a high carbide, high wear resistant steel, titanium scales, and then this carbon fiber inlay. I like the orange and the pop of orange from the carbon fiber to the pivot collar. The inlay is done like perfectly. Like it's so good. Now, the thing does not come with a slip. However, you could get a CAVOL slip for it, which comes with a clip. And then I put a little piece of paper towel down there at the bottom of my slip. I just pushed it down in there. So because this was too deep, but now it fits nice and perfectly. So something you could think about, you know, if you want to get one for a little bit of a smaller pocket knife, these are really good for the small ones. You know, you can reach out to other places or other people that have slips too. Those are pretty good quality, especially for the money. All in all, I think it's dope. I like it a lot. As pretty much usual, Divo does a really good job with their knife designs. They pick OEMs that execute them very well. The only negative I have is, which I don't think I have any negatives. T8's all the way around. Love to see it. The only thing is I wish there was a clip. I love to see clips on slip joints. I know that's not everybody. A lot of people don't want that. A lot of people would rather have a slip, but I think a little replaceable tab right there would have been perfect because then you could choose to have it or not. But that'd be my only thing. Other than that, man, this thing is badass. Now, the next one is actually also at Traditional Pocket Knives. Like I said, links down in the description. This is the Undertaker from Finch Knives. And it does come in a couple different color options. This one's obviously the red fat carbon fiber, Mars carbon fiber, or whatever it's called. S35VN, black stone-washed blade. And then the bolster lock is a steel bolster lock instead of titanium. They do have titanium bolster locks, though. Phenomenal action. And I got to give Finch credit, man. Finch always does a great detent. I don't know if I've felt one yet that just wasn't phenomenal in the action department. Good access to the lock bar, nice texturing on the steel frame. The blade does stick out plenty for you to reverse flick it easily, I might say. And I can get a full 4-finger grip, and I kind of like how it thickens up. It's a little sharp right there if your finger winds up landing right there, but mine lands right on the inside, so it's not bad. The blade shape is a clip point blade, so it's going to have a lot of belly for cutting down, you know, like cutting ropes on flat surfaces or whatever you're going to do with a belly. But it has a little bit of arch to it, so you could probably stay in the cut pretty easily without it slipping out. Some knives with big bellies slip out pretty easily. This one does not seem like it will. Titanium milled pocket clip, and it does have a decent amount of spring to it, and I have tried it in and out of the pocket. It works great. The drop, very, very smooth. You can tell it's riding on bearings. And yeah, all in all, really awesome knife. My only real nitpick is T6s, and I wish the sharpening choil was just a little bit bigger. I wish this little divot was deeper, because when you sharpen it, you're going to wind up sharpening that out, and you're going to sharpen all the way to the plunge, which is fine. You know, there's nothing in the way, but it'd be cool if they just notched that out just a little tiny bit deeper. And I mean like a small amount. Other than that, you know, if it's your style, it is a great quality knife as usual from Finch. Also, they did do the tab, just like I was saying with the Divo that could happen. They actually did give you a tab. So if you wanted to take this off and treat it like I guess like a slip joint, or drop it at the bottom of the pot because you don't want to clip, you can always just add the filler tab to it, which is a nice little touch. Now, this is going to be really quick because I do have multiple videos on this knife. This is the Berg Blades Sweeny, and they are available at the Traditional Pocket Knives site. So if you want to get one, or if you were trying to get one and you weren't able to in the past, you can right now. They are available. They have multiple different versions available. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Amazing action. I mean, it's such a fidget-friendly knife. And then the feeling of it, you know, the access to the lock bar is very comfortable. The lockup is rock solid. Beautiful blade shape for EDC. Ergonomics are great. The clip is great. There's not really much negative on this. This is a phenomenal knife. I raved about it when I first opened it up a while back. I've even given one away because they are really, really cool. So check that out if you want to. Let's get to one of the new knives now. From Kansept, this thing was really intriguing to me. One, because of the designer, but two, because of the design itself. This thing is wicked looking. This is the Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga. So the Baba Yaga, look at that guy. Doesn't that look crazy? Wow, wow, wow. I will say this. I think this is the thinnest, sliciest edge I've ever felt on any Kansept ever. This is very, very thin. Like way thinner than even the tip is showing, because they added a little bit of stoutness right there at the tip. It is paper thin right here, and I love that. It does have a little secondary tip right there, but I don't think you'll be using it, and I'm pretty sure you'll probably, just like myself, will just sharpen that right out. This is a Greg Schaub design. That's, you know, who I was saying was the designer. And the thumb studs land, oh yeah, by the way, 20 CV steel. Should have said that right away. Obviously a titanium frame lock. Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not. Titanium frame lock with a 80s fat carbon fiber inlay on both sides. Love to see that. Titanium mill pocket clip, full titanium back spacer. And then the thumb studs are so far away from the scale that you have a ton of leverage to the reverse or thumb flick. I mean, it's just, it just lands in such a good place that you can slow roll it, you can reverse it. It's very satisfying thumb studs. More satisfying than most, I'll say that. Good access to the lock bar, so it's very, very smooth on the drop. The ergonomics are good. I mean, I have no complaints on it. It does go from narrow to thicker, which is the way I would prefer it rather than the opposite. You can get really close to that edge. Pinch your grips for utility cuts or slicing is going to be great. And with that damn edge, man, this thing's going to slice like a dream. And sharpening it is going to be a dream because it's so thin. This thing's going to sharpen up so fast. And if you don't like this little secondary tip, it doesn't matter because you can sharpen it out in probably 60 seconds. The one negative, though, that I want to bring up right away is just this choil, because they did a nice finger choil, well, what acts as a finger choil, but they did the plunger grind right to the edge, and you can already see where the edge is starting to widen up. And that makes it where it's a lot more difficult here right there. You can see it perfectly right there. See how it's getting wider right there? Now, the next time you sharpen it, it's probably going to be up to here. Like, it's just going to go wham. The edge will be like, meow. And that makes it a lot more difficult to sharpen back at the heel. It makes it very difficult to sharpen here, and it makes it where it takes longer to sharpen. So in order for this to have an apex right there, the rest of the edge will be finished, and you'll have to remove more steel from this just to hit one little spot. Now, you don't have to. You could just leave it unhit, but it's just the point. Like, why would you want to? Why wouldn't you just want a nice clean edge from tip to heel? So I wish that they would have curved this and made the plunge grind stop way over here, and then the edge start over here where they're separated. That's my biggest negative with this knife. Other than that, the only other thing, you know, T6s, I wish they were T8s, you know, especially on such a premium knife that is so badass. I do like this knife quite a bit. It has a lot going for it. And, you know, it doesn't look like everything out there. It kind of reminds me of like a frog or something. It does. It definitely reminds me of like a frog or something like that, or some sort of lizard. Anyways, I think it's pretty damn cool. The clip looks like it's going to work great. And, you know, Kansept does good clips. They typically do good clips. They typically do good access to the lock bars. Their action and detent is just getting better and better every time I try a new one. So I'm very impressed with what Kansept's doing right now. So shout out to Kansept and shout out to Greg Schaub. Next is a knife from KUBEY Knives. Now this is made by KUBEY, and this is damn it, a Hoback design. Couldn't even think of it. It's a damn Hoback design. So it's a Hoback design. Now, I will say I do have one significant issue with this knife that we're going to talk about, but I like it a lot. I wish the one issue I have wasn't the case, but it has a great fuller there, or a great reverse flicking spot with a nice sharp edge. So it's very easy to reverse flick. It's very comfortable. We have 20 CV steel, titanium scales, beautiful anodized purple backspacer. Look at that backspacer. That is just gorgeous. The clip, titanium mill pod clip, titanium pivot. The hardware, same anodization, so you can tell it's all titanium. We have a sheep's foot, like I said, 20 CV blade with a flat grind, nice little swedge up there. The black wash has a stone washed finish over it, which is really nice, and it has button lock action, which is actually really good. So these thumb discs up here, I believe are so this is the stop for the open, and the close is the button lock pin right there. The thumb discs or thumb studs, whatever you want to call them, do act as a really good reverse flick or thumb flick method or slow rolling method, or you can just go right off of the fuller. Both of them work equally as good. And the detent is pretty good for a button lock. I'm going to say it's pretty good. So what is my big problem with this thing? It's this clip. It works good, or works fine. I think it works fine in the pocket. I didn't try it too much. I should have tried it on my thick jeans. Yeah, it's not horrible, but the problem is in the hand, it is so bad. It is bad. I can't stand this. I don't know how this could be designed and you couldn't figure out that this is going to happen. I mean, it literally, like, just look at this. Watch this when I peel. Now, this is how I'd probably use it, like this. Now, watch when I peel my hands open. That spot right there, it's literally just digging right into my bone right there. And there's nothing I can do about it. Even when I choke up, it's still not that, it's more comfortable, but it's not that comfortable. I feel this entire edge right here across my hand. Like, it just literally, you can see it. It goes right across my hand, and it's bad. It's not good. So that is one thing I will say. It is, I mean, you can see it is not great in the hand, and that just destroys it for me personally. Now, if you don't care about that and you're like, well, I'm not going to be doing much slicing anyways, I'm going to be doing pinch grips, then cool, because this thing is a great pinch grip knife. It's just, to me, it's not going to be a great slicer. I do love how they did this backspacer here where it protects the edge right there, and then check this out. You can use this like a flipper. Now, you have to add a little bit of wrist, but because if you just push it, it'll go like that. But with a tiny hint of wrist, it flips almost like a normal flipper. I mean, it's very easy. This is a little bit sharp right there, but it's not bad. You're not going to be hurt by it in any way. So in the gears right here, this is nice and sharp in a good way. I like that. And I love the way it just looks when it's, you know, when this is all closed right here. Nice little touch. All in all, man, I like it. The only other negative I could say is I wish the plunge grind's okay. I'm not gonna tear this one up. That one's fine. This would be just fine. You're gonna get a bunch of sharpenings in before that'll tear up. Hopefully you're just careful not to hit that part of the you know, you could say a finger stop or the halfway flipper. Anyways, awesome knife though. Just, man, that clip, just for me personally, it just, you know, it is what it is. Next, we have a sardine knife, and would you look at that? It comes in a damn sardine can. So this is, we only get one time to open this, so let's not mess this up, Jared. There we go. So after opening it up, you got a little razor. So, oh, it's spring loaded. That's cool. Oh, wow, that's cool. So it has it's spring loaded. You push it up and then you push it in, and then watch this. Bam, it snaps down. So you push it. It's kind of hard to do this. And then you see how it starts going in, and then push it all the way in. And now it's somewhat locked open. I'm guessing I guess you can just pinch that little spot right there, do your cut, and then pow. It's got a, what does that say? Oh, Jimmytronics, that's who is making this. The spring, it has a decent amount of strength to it, not too crazy. It's not going to be hard for anybody to open or close. The blade is very thin because it's just a little tiny utility blade. It does come with a tool, and I'm guessing changing the blade isn't too hard. But it does come with the tool, so you can take it all apart. This does look like a T4 or something. Yeah, T4. Wish it was at least T6s, but hey, it is what it is. It does come with a little key ring too. I think that's all that's in there. Yeah, that's all that's in there. But it's a cool little, you know, little blade. You have to be careful with it. I mean, I guess not really. The spring does kind of hold it back. I wanted to, and you can open it up one-handed, or at least I can. You know, as long as you're careful, I guess. But the handle, I think this is titanium. I'm not 100%. Let me just check that really quick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is all titanium. You know, you have the blade that's steel on the inside. Exacto, a number 11. But yeah, it's a cool little blade. And like I said, it does come with the extra little blade, which I'm sure these are probably easy to get. You know, you can read it right there. It's number 11. And yeah, the can is a nice little touch, and these things are pretty affordable. So I will, you can just find them, Jimmytronics, or you can just look up this right here, the Sardine titanium nano knife. I do not have a link or anything, so just go and check them out. There you guys go. Work hard, stay tough. Till next time. Peace.